You have the tools, you've done the work, you can read the room, feel the shift, hold space for a stranger in a meaningful way, but you go home feeling completely empty because being in service and sensitive in this world actually costs something. Being just a human is hard. This episode features Ashley Lord, and she came to me for a reading feeling exactly this way: burnt out, overgiving, and shining her light in exactly the way that only she can. She's just Ashley, and I am just Jana. Let's get started. When Ashley came to me for a reading in Costa Rica, she had been through years of energy work, and she was in what I love to call chronic depletion. She identified herself as a clear channel, but she couldn't reconcile that with feeling drained. She felt that there was like a disconnection in herself, or that she was missing some kind of protective practice. And she gets into the underlying wound of her childhood conditioning of taking care of emotionally unavailable parents. She gives the context of her current life where she has been removed, where she's intentionally removed herself from the wellness world. And she even references working a muggle job in the Matrix that she feels has created a loss in the connection to her tools. And as soon as we got into the container, you will hear me immediately identify that her depletion has nothing to do with a lack of tools or clarity. It is about a core behavioral pattern, a severing of her own energetic boundary to make other people feel comfortable. It is rooted in that childhood wound of caretaking for her parents, and it is not a spiritual skill gap. She knew what she needed to do, she just wasn't doing it for herself. In the reading that you guys are going to hear, she asks, how do I protect my energy? And I immediately flip it back on her and redirect her to asking the question, are you doing the daily maintenance? One of the things that is so important is for us to be sovereign, to practice the internal hygiene of understanding what we need to do to stay clear within ourselves. As we move through the reading, you'll hear me actually reference a very ridiculous metaphor that I originally used with one of my favorite clients, my favorite little squirrel. She knows exactly who she is. And the metaphor is one that I'm going to let you guys hear right now. Your water, your energy, your pool being sacred and needing it to be clear and clean, and recognizing who are the people in your life that come in and pee in your pool, and what kind of filtration systems are you using to be able to differentiate between the water and the pee? And more importantly, what kind of boundaries have you created to say, hey, I know you. You're that person that pees in my pool. Get away from me. The question that I asked, who are the people that are coming into your pool, is funny, but it's also important to ask yourself, who is muddying the waters? Whose energy is so deeply penetrated into yours that you're forgetting how to filter? A very, very, very important thing that you'll hear me talk about over and over and over again in readings and in solo episodes on this show is the importance of energetic boundaries, understanding the separation between what is yours and what belongs to somebody else. You'll also hear me chat a little bit about her parents in particular. And for most of us millennials, our parents are boomers. And so for them, they are the Pluto in Leo generation. And we, with Pluto in Scorpio, tend to have a bit of a tricky time with that. With Pluto in Leo, their whole generation wants to make sure that it looks good. Leo, ruled by the sun, wants to shine, perform, and look beautiful and shiny on the outside, and is not super, super concerned with what's happening on the deeper level. For those of us with Pluto in Scorpio, it's a challenge to have parents who can't access the bottom of the ocean that we tend to live on some level. So the energy that she's carrying of having to parent her parents is exceptionally difficult, and it shows up in her adult life, whether she's in the spiritual world or not. I give her a number of tools that you'll see me kind of guide her through. I give her some crystals that she can start to tap into, and the reminder that crystals do hold energy. I give her a couple of mudras that she can use, hand motions that'll help her to connect with the energy in a more channeled kind of way in her physical vessel. I remind her about her own somatic touch and about EFT, which, if you're curious, I have a 21-day program called Psychic Literacy that allows you to go so deep into reprogramming your own psychic gifts, your own connection to yourself. So if that's something you're curious about, you can go ahead and check it out in the show notes. Ashley also has some information that she shares on EFT, and that's available down below as well. I also give her a couple of totems, some comfort objects, a couple of things that she can tap into as ways to remember her sovereignty in her day-to-day practice. So Ashley is what I would call a performer, meaning that she wants to show that she's a good girl. This overparenting that she has had to do, this parentified role that she has been in, is one that has resulted in her needing to behave in a particular way, to perform like she is okay, even if she's not. And there is plenty of static that disrupts that signal for her. And you're going to see me actually point out where all the static is along the way. So her signal is that her channel is very clear and she is well aware of it. She trusts what comes through. She acts from her inner knowing. She stays in her own energetic lane. But there's a lot of disruption, a lot of static, a lot of noise that she receives in her job and in her life, which is normal for all of us because all of us have blockages from the clear signal that does come through. So, some of the static that you'll definitely pick up on is you'll hear her talking about feeling like a clear channel and then feeling very depleted. And to me, that static is that the static doesn't really come in until after her signal. So for her, she's so in tune and she can hear it come through. And that's such a gift. But then it's like the aftershock, the aftermath of that. What happens is suddenly everything starts to get fuzzy. It's like the clear message comes through, but then it's like and hard to listen to. You'll hear her talking about literally severing her own boundary to make other people comfortable. And so a big static source for her is other people's discomfort. As soon as somebody around her is not feeling safe, she goes into the haze, she goes into the fuzziness, as opposed to staying in the clarity of what her channel is offering her. She even references that she's allowed her own frequency to lower, which means that she knows what's happening, but she doesn't know how to stop herself from doing it. And I want to say that that is incredibly normal. Most people behave this way, and it is from years of deep conditioning. She says that when she was in wellness spaces, she had more connection, which possibly could be a bit of a disruption in her own memory. I'm sure that that clarity was also difficult to access, but it's important for her to know that her signal is environment dependent for her right now. And so if that's true, it's about two things. One, being very mindful about the place that you are in, the energy and the environment that she is in. And can she reclaim it no matter where she is? You'll hear her reference coming to Costa Rica to surround herself with people who get it, which to me is a very healthy coping mechanism. It is extremely important to be around people who don't have a lot of static in their lives so that you can hear your signal clearer. When people are not disrupted in their own minds, I promise you more clarity happens in yours. She also references this meditation mantra, which is just be. And to me, that is clear that her signal is intact. Some of those specific sources, the static, are her ancestral and childhood wounds, her environment, as I said, the relations to other people, which is the people who pee in her pool, and behavioral static, right? This habit of self abandonment to soothe other people. So, as you can see, she's been performing, trying to step into the role of being the helper, as opposed to allowing herself to be just Ashley. If you've been listening to all of this and you're wondering, I wonder what my static is, there's a quiz for that, and you can access it in the show notes. It's called Clear Signal versus Confused Static. And it is a simple quiz that will help you to assess exactly the way that your signal is being interrupted and the way that you can actually start to move back into your own sovereignty, your own clear intuition, and block out the anxiety, block out the noise, and come back to being just you. Have a listen to the whole reading now and stick around till the end where I share a little bit more about how you can live exactly the way that Ashley gets invited to.
So glad to be here with you.
I do.
Hi, I'm Ashley Lord. Good to be here in Costa Rica with this lovely, lovely woman, Purvita. Yeah, we had got to chatting, and I'm super grateful that you invited me into this space. So I'll just jump right into it. Dive in. So something that's really been on my heart that sparked this whole idea of connecting with you is that for quite some time, many years, I was doing a lot of energy work, teaching a lot, feeling that it drained me, getting very, very burnt out from holding so much. And so what I was hoping to gain some clarity on was just your insight into energetic boundaries and like what are some even like kind of like tangible ways that you can know them and experience them like energetically. What is mine, what is yours? I feel like I know myself and my energy, and I have a lot of clarity and insights around, like I feel like a clear channel when I'm giving energy work, but then I just feel like left depleted. And so I'm not sure if there is a disconnect in me when I am being that clear channel, or if there's some practices I can do to help protect my energy. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Cool. First of all, love the question. Super important. So many of us who do the work of being in service to others, whether you're somebody who's like, literally in the service industry, serving tables, which I know you've done, or, retail or what have you, or you're somebody who's like in the light service, which is all the same thing. The depletion is a real thing. And so there's both the protection of it and also the clarity of it. An important thing that I talk a lot about is boundaries. I talk about boundaries almost constantly because we are, in fact, constricted to one, which is the physical. That's the one.
Skin suit.
That's the one, the meat suit, the thing you wear around that you keep thinking is you. And so we need to have the understanding of the boundaries. We need to have this like clear understanding about the end of something. And so when your channel is very clear, first of all, you want to make sure that you're spending time every day in that channel. And so for people that looks differently, but the way that I do the plumbing work of that is that I literally spend time going up through my channel. So I'll literally start base of my spine, go up through the chakras and feel what's going on. Again, like as a reminder to those who might be watching, our chakras open top and bottom, open down into the earth, up into the sky, and then all the middle ones open through the front and the back. So I will literally move energy in and out of my chakras to feel what's feeling blocked, and then go all the way up into the crown and start moving up into the heavens, up into the ether, and feel where the clogs literally are. Like almost as if I could take a power washer and be like, oh, that's some sticky shit that got stuck up there from that conversation. Or like, well, there's a little bit of gunk we gotta pull out of that. Or like, there's a belief, there's a story that I've been telling myself. So I do a lot of that every day, multiple times a day. Pretty much in every conversation I'm having with every single person, I'm like floating up and being like, okay, higher self, what is this in the channel that I'm noticing? Especially when I'm not in an energetic container. Because in an energetic container, I want it to be as clear as possible.
May I ask a question?
Yep.
Would you like ask yourself, like, is this mine?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
That's the best question.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I feel like my higher self knows this, but that was such a helpful reflection because like you literally just have to do the work.
Yes.
Ain't nobody doing it for you. Yeah. Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my pleasure. And then when it comes to like actual, and again, I think, we were talking about this, and I have a client who I love very much who will laugh, but we were talking about this the other day about your water, your energy, your pool being sacred and needing it to be clear and clean, and recognizing who are the people in your life that come in and pee in your pool, and what kind of filtration systems are you using to be able to differentiate between the water and the pee. And more importantly, what kind of boundaries have you created to say, hey, I know you. You're that person that pees in my pool. Get away from me. So those are like important pieces. When I'm actually in an energetic container, how I get to not feeling depleted and actually feeling incredibly energized most of the time. I used to have clients that drained me. Now I'm incredibly lucky to just like only have clients that are amazing humans who do their work and hold their own power and stand in it and bring me into it to help them do the power washing, which I love. And I've called that in with intention. And thank you all for being that if you're one of them. But when I'm in that container, I have to do an awful lot of separating, because the filter in that space, in the space of an energetic exchange, even in this one right now, I am hyper aware of where your insecurities around this exist that might have once been mine or could be mine again in some future experience, but are not mine right now. And the more that they're not mine and I force you to hold them as yours, the stronger I feel in my clarity, which actually helps you substantially more than if I was like, oh my God, babe, that's the worst. I'm so sorry. How can I help? What can I do? Can I make it better for you? Can I clean it up? Lindy, go in there. I have power washers. I can do it. Not my job, not my circus, not my monkey that we saw that lunch. Just truly what is mine to hold is that you've come asking for an answer. I have an answer that is helpful. How you take it after this minute is not my problem. What you do with the wisdom or the guidance or the light that I give you is entirely yours. All I need to do is be clear when I'm giving it. And that clarity is best accessed by me making sure it's clean in everything that I'm trying to do, and then coming to you from that clarity, from the like openness of God is going to work through me in the ways that I know that he does. For me, it's in my words, it's in my essence. It sometimes is in a look, but most of the time it comes through best when I start to speak in my channel. Does that help?
Definitely. Thank you for that. What really came through for me is that often I will do that. I will kind of lean in and sever my own boundary to make other people feel comfortable. And I think it's because, and I know that this goes back to my childhood wounding of taking care of my emotionally not as intelligent parents.
Pluto and Leo fuckers. Bless them all.
Bless them.
Not just
Go
on.
But yeah, I have started to really try, and it's uncomfortable, and I think my body right now is just trying to catch up to just staying strong in my container, and I feel like I'm going to pray for like something tangible for me to do, either with my body, like a gesture, or like something just to like like remember my power. And that I don't have to lower myself to make you feel comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. First of all, there's a reason that I'm armored. They do energetic work for me all the time, constantly. Usually I don't take them off. Sometimes I do when I'm in a really safe space and I'm like receiving something, but most of the time they're on me. Rings, bracelets, necklaces, everything. Crystals do energetic work. They hold a frequency. That helps. Mudras, also helpful. If you know where your blockages are, feels like in the creative, in there, if that's your sacral, then you want to be with the mudras that are going to support that. So mudras being hand movements. The other thing that you can do is literally touch your own body and feel your own limitation in those moments. As soon as you notice that you're doing this, what can I do to help you? Literally pull yourself back. Feel where your own central, like, frequency is. Feel the chakras. Feel your own energetic body. Also, somatics. EFT is one of the things that I have been finding of late, especially, is so helpful. Even though I give away my power to every jerk who thinks that they deserve it, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, right? Right? Yeah, and moving through it. And if you don't know how to do it, then I got videos for you. DM me. And so, yeah, like there's
Read my book because there's some EFT in there as well.
exactly. So, yeah, just use the tools. Use the tools. You don't need to gather more things. You can wear things that help. You can be with things. You can carry crystals. You can have totems. You can have whatever it is. If it helps you to keep, I don't know, a Polly Pocket with you to remember that you're tiny, then do it. I mean, we all need stuff. I got a stuffed animal that comes with me everywhere. So,
Totally.
right?
Thank you. Yes, I brought a My Little Pony with me on this trip. Love her. But yeah, I'm really grateful because that's a really good reminder that I freaking know I have the tools. And I think that because I've been constantly I've just like allowed myself my frequency to lower. Not even that, just like more so. I think it's because I've just been so tired working in the service industry and getting out of energy work and out of kind of an association with my practices. I think sometimes, like when I was teaching yoga and I was in the wellness spaces, there was a little bit more of a connection and an association of like my day-to-day activities were kind of based in that world. So when I removed myself and I was completely in a matrix in my muggle job, it was like I was removed from that. So the strength wasn't there. And so this is basically the reason I came to Costa Rica, was just to put myself in a container of healing, in a container of wellness, in a container of just surrounding myself with people who believe and get it, just who get it, who I don't have to explain myself to, who just get it. And it just reminds me and helps me. And so, I feel very grateful for that.
My pleasure. Yeah, and I'll say, you are the pendulum, as within, so without. All the things, right? Like all those isms that we hear. You are the one who's doing the work. You are the one who's doing the energy. Whether you're operating in a matrix in a job or you're in the astral delivering, light codes and energy healing, it doesn't matter. It's all the same work. You've just told yourself the story, something different. And one of the big stories that you've been telling yourself is, I have to give. But like, actually, what if you only had to be? What's possible if that's the truth? If that's all that there is and you don't have to give or do anything, and all you have to do is just show up and you've done it all.
Thank you for that. That was some medicine right there. I felt that.
Cool.
I love you too. Oh, that hit me like a laser beam yesterday in my meditation. It was literally, the word was like be, and it kept coming back, and that was my mantra: be, 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 be. So the fact that you called that, I was like, thank you. We got it.
It's almost like I'm a clear
We got it.
channel. Clear channel over here. Been doing my power washing like fuck, baby.
Love it.
Cool. So, what if you only had to just be? What a beautiful message that was delivered to Ashley in this moment. An opportunity for her to do that mirror work and the reflection of how she can just be without trying to rescue. She was clearly overgiving from the wound and not living from that place of authentic self, nurturing her own energetic field, her own needs, and giving herself the permission to know that exactly who she is, exactly the way she shows up in the world is perfect. So I wanted to drop in here and remind you that if any of this landed for you, the same is probably true for you too. There is nothing more that you need to do than just learn how to live exactly as you. I am Just Jana, and this has been another episode of the Just Jana Show. Thanks for tuning in. You've just listened to the Just Jana Show. Whether you sat with me through a live reading or just let me talk my shit to camera, I hope something I called out landed for you. Share with me the one thing that shifted or a question you've got in the comments, or send this episode to someone who deserves to stop shrinking their light. If you're enjoying this kind of energetic reprogramming, please like and subscribe. If you want me to read beneath the surface of your life, apply to be a guest and get a live on-air reading at the link in the show notes. I'm Just Jana, and I'll see you next time.